So we're on to our last SAT prep video, where we'll go over the writing strategies this time. And I know there's a huge gap between the last SAT prep video and this video in time, date published, right? So if you take a look at that in the description, of course, there's a huge difference. The other three were like the day after each other, but then this one was like a few weeks after the last one. It's really, yeah, it took me a while to get to this one. I've been a bit busy, but we will begin with the strategies nonetheless. So our first strategy, let's take a look at this description below. Of course, again, always in the description. Always check out the description. There might be something there that's important. Anyways, first strategy is called questions first. Context is important for grammar. But you should actually read the question, read the question first so you understand what you are looking for. Before even looking at the passage, read the question and the answer choices. This will give you an opportunity to learn the type of question being asked so that you can deliberately search for the mistake in the passage. For instance, if the question deals with comma placement, look for the answer choice with the correct comma placement. That's it. That is what I believe to be the best strategy for this part of the SAT. For the writing section of the SAT, I think that questions first is the best strategy that you can implement. Other than, of course, studying up on grammar. Make sure you study up on your grammar. I feel as if that is more important than any of these strategies listed here, because if you don't review your grammar, you don't know your grammar rules, going into the SAT, you're going to be very and thoroughly confused. Okay? So let's take a look at the sample question. It says C34. So question number 34 is choose the best answer. All right? Let's read the question before we look at the passage. Choose the best answer. No change. With which, where, or in which. All right, so it looks like we're dealing with prepositional phrases. All right? So now let's read the sentence in which it's in. Planned obsolescence, a practice at which products are designed to have, and then let's stop there. So let's say, I think that the important part is, if we're dealing with prepositional phrases, is a practice at which products are designed. All right? So now let's fill in each of those answer choices. A practice at which products are designed? Nope, I don't think that's it. Cross out A. A practice with which products are designed? Nope, I don't think that's it either. A practice where products are designed? Now that sounds good in colloquial terms, but it's not correct if you think about it in formal grammar, in formal writing. It's not correct. And then the next one is a practice in which products are designed. There you go. That is the correct answer, in which. All right. So, now let's move on to the next strategy, which is called 99% wrong. If you see the following phrases or words in an answer choice, there is a 99% chance it is incorrect because of this difference, as I expressed before, between colloquialism, which is talking informally, like conversationally, that's what colloquial means, and formal writing. And here are those phrases. Being, or just any form of to be. For the reason, is because, is the reason why, and is why. Now these phrases sound good. They sound correct. And they sound justified in colloquial speaking. We say these all of the time. But that is the reason why you have to make sure that you're looking for formal grammar mistakes. Right? You need to make sure that you're looking at the text formally and not colloquially. Because if you really think about it, is the reason why is extremely redundant. You could just say, because. You could just say, this happened because this. This happened because of this. Not, this is the reason why. Right? Or this is because, or this is why. You would say, thus, blah, 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 or therefore, done. Okay? Or consequently, boom. You don't need any of these phrases. If these phrases show up in an answer choice, it's wrong. Alright, so remember that. Next one is no vocabulary. So make sure you study up on your vocabulary. So it's useful to brush up on your English jargon before taking the SAT. This is because there will often be questions that test your knowledge of vocabulary. Now, let's take a look at sample question 35. Alright, so it says, which word fits best? Let's read the question first. Let's apply all the strategies. Which word fits best? No change, utility, efficacy, and productivity. Alright, so we're looking for word choice. So this is vocab, right? So it says, let's read the phrases around it. So it says, are designed to have a limited period. So let's start off with to have a limited period because you did are designed for the last question. So to have a limited period of usefulness. So to have a limited period of usefulness. So let's read that whole phrase. Let's read that whole phrase again just so that we understand some more context. A practice. And then we said in which products are designed to have a limited period of usefulness. So we want to see which word fits best there. So it's either usefulness, utility, efficacy, or productivity. So it says have a limited period of usefulness. I don't think that fits well. Let's cross it out. Have a limited period of utility. Have a limited period of efficacy. Have a limited period of productivity. Now, if we think about it, the correct usage that we're looking for, what is it that would, if we remove usefulness here, what is it that we're trying to find? Have a limited period of, so we're looking for usefulness, right? However, we want a word that is better than usefulness because usefulness is a rather informal word. We want something more formal. And I believe that if you think about it, it would be utility. Because utility means usefulness, right? However, it is a more oriented towards this kind of formal writing. Efficacy more means efficiency, and productivity means ability to be efficient, or in that case, right? Utility means usefulness, but in a way that is better applied in this sentence than usefulness. Okay? And then the next strategy is choose the best answer. The name says it all. Choose the best answer, of course. It seems simple, but it trips up even the best and brightest of us. Don't look for answers that are correct. The test is designed to make it feel like there are multiple answers that could be correct. However, don't be fooled. Remember that 75% of the answer choices are wrong. Check out sample question 36. Choose the best answer. No change, stark, complete, or delete the underlined portion. So let's read the sentence. This approach increases sales, but it also stands in austere contrast. Okay, so in austere contrast is the important phrase. So in austere contrast, in stark contrast, in complete contrast, or in contrast to a time. Which one fits best? Well, I would say that we can remove A and D. Alright? So stark and complete are our two options. So stark means surprising or absolute. Complete means absolute but not as surprising. So in stark contrast or in complete contrast, which one fits best? Now, if you understand how phrasing works and you've brushed up on your vocabulary, of course, you would know that stark fits better in this phrase. So the correct answer is in stark contrast to a time when goods are produced. Now, why did I choose stark rather than complete? They both mean complete, right? They mean the same thing, finished. Well, that isn't absolutely true. They both mean absolute or finished, but stark has more correct definitions than complete. Complete means finished or absolute. Stark means different, surprisingly different, or surprising, right? Or it means absolute or completely, or complete, right? So although they are in fact synonyms in some respect, if you think about most of the definitions of stark, they fit better into the context of the sentence than complete. Alright? And why didn't we delete it in contrast to a time when goods were produced to be durable? Well, we didn't say in contrast because if we remove austere if we remove that underlined portion from the phrase, it actually changes the interpretation of the phrase. It's no longer in absolute contrast, in complete contrast, or in stark contrast is what we want to say, right? Or in surprising contrast, it's no longer saying that. It's just saying, yeah, but this is different from that. You know, it's different, not a big deal. It's just different. But if we say in stark contrast or in complete contrast, then we know that there is something more important going on here, that there is an importance within that difference. And so that is all of the strategies for this writing. I recommend brushing up on grammar and vocab, importantly, because these are the types of questions that you would see on the SAT in when you take it. All right? So I'll see you in the next video, and this does it for the mini series for SAT Prep.